If your teenage child that is 18 or 19 walks up to you and say, "Hey mom," or "Hey dad, I'm 18, I'm 19. I think it's time to have sex." How would you handle it? What would be your first reaction? I guess your first reaction would be shock. You will be so shocked. For some parents, they will start casting and binding. For some parents, they will say, "No, that is not my child talking. There's another spirit talking behind my child or inside my child." Now, I want to tell you something. As a parent, some of the things you should learn is communication. Get to that point as a parent where you communicate with your children, not shouting, not scolding, not ordering them around. Now, when you communicate with them, it is easier to guide them. When you communicate with them, it's easier for them to open up to you. So when you hear your child say something like that, don't think, "Oh, it's of the devil. Oh, why would you say a thing like that? Oh, you are getting corrupt." No. The child is trying, want to express themselves to find out their body changes. They are growing pubic hairs, their sweating gland increases, some start menstruating. So these kids, if you don't communicate with them, they have all the information they need. The internet is there, their peer group is there. So you as a parent, you must learn to communicate. Now, another thing you must learn to do is to listen. Ask them questions on what they already know. It will amaze you what these teenagers already know. In this generation, they have a lot of access to information. When we were growing up, my mom would always teach us that if a guy talks to you, you're already pregnant. For some parents, they'll tell you once a guy places his hands here, you're already pregnant. But for these kids, that will not work with them, this generation. If you say that to your child, to your daughter, to your son, they will just be looking at you like, "What is she talking about?" Because the next thing they will do is to go online and get any kind of information that they need. So you, one, communicate. Number two, listen. A lot of us parents, we don't listen. We just want to talk. We just want to shout. We just want to order these kids around. But it doesn't work like that anymore. You must learn to listen. Because they need to feel heard. They need to feel like you understand them. They want to. If you are lucky enough that your child can open up to you, then believe me, you're very lucky, because most of them, they bottle up these emotions. They would rather talk to their friends than talk to you. So if you have a child that opens up to you, listen, listen, listen. Now, when you listen, another thing you should not do, don't judge and don't assume. Don't say, "Oh, is that friend that you are going out with? Hey, you are now a bad girl." You start making unnecessary judgment. It will just make the child to shrink back. And when they do that, they will never open up to you again. Now, be as plain as possible. Tell them why their body is changing. Tell them that that is the way they were created. Teach them that this is what they will experience. Tell your sons they will start having erection. Tell your daughters that this is how it works. They will menstruate. They are becoming women. Don't be ashamed to teach these kids. Another thing you should do is that you should get comfortable talking about sex with your children. Talk about sex with your daughters. Talk about sex with your sons. Because if you don't, the internet will. And believe me, it will not be funny. Okay? Now, another thing you should know that as a parent is not a one-time thing. Yeah, talking about sex with your children is not a one-time thing. It's something you have to do consistently. It's something you have to do over time. Another thing you should understand is a parent, another pointer is that don't make it look like it's a devil's topic. Don't make it look like, oh, why would I talk about sex with my children? No, let your daughter, let your son understand that the way they are feeling is normal for a human being. It is normal for them to start feeling horny. It is normal for them to have their first love letter. It is normal for them to start crushing on someone. It is normal for them to start feeling body changes. Let them understand that it is normal. God created them, to have these feelings, but it is not the right time for them to have sex. Let them know the consequences of their action if they go ahead and do it when it's not the right time. Let them know that they have to teach them that they must stay pure until they get married. Let them know that if they go against the will of God, against the nature of the rule of nature, that this is what is going to happen. Let them understand the responsibility of pregnancy, of early pregnancy. Let them understand. Talk to them about STDs. Talk to them about what they stand to lose. Their education, their life will be shattered. Okay, let them understand. Don't just jump to conclusions and be judgmental and start casting and binding. That is the time for you as a parent to open up and talk to these kids. Make them understand. As always, my name is Bina Kenneth. I'm the Big Mom of Africa and your favorite life coach. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to share me out. Stay intentional. Bye for now. See you in my next video.